Let's talk a little bit about typography, especially just kind of beautifying the printed word in our documents. In this lesson, we're going to learn what drop caps are, how to use them, how to turn off hyphenation, and what a widow and an orphan is. So let's start. I mean, let's start with the most confusing sounding one: is what is an orphan and what is a widow? I changed my page to actually exemplify a couple of these. So this is an orphan. You'll notice that we have a lot of text here, blah, 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 blah. And then in another column, all by itself, sort of tailing onto the end, is this little orphan. Little tiny, either one word or just a couple words, not enough to really, let's make it more like this, because usually an orphan would be really short. And the problem is that not only is that super ugly, and it's taking a whole chunk of space just for two little words, um, but it's needless because we could squeeze that in over here, right? And so that's what we need to do using some of the techniques we've already talked about, but you don't want to leave orphans ever in your documents. And widows are a similar idea. Widows are whenever you have an orphan kind of situation, but it's just, look at all this space that's wasted just because we have these two little words kind of hanging out on the end there. So we should be able to either by, as long as you're allowed to change the copy, you can change the copy. When I say copy, I mean text. In the publication world, we call text copy. You can change the copy, so change, words like the method by which the user walked. You could just change that to how the user walked, and that saves a ton of space. Or you could, just do any of the techniques we used before, changing the spacing between the letters and etc. Let's talk about drop caps. So oftentimes, even though I think that our document here, our Robot Overlord Daily publication, gives you plenty of indication where you should start reading, you could actually use a little bit more of an indication. I'm going to shrink this text down just to squeeze it in there. There we go. And so that's why we have drop caps. So here's what you do. You double click on the first, I'm just going to kind of highlight the first sentence. And then we're going to click up here on the paragraphs icon. And you'll notice there's a little icon right here. It looks like drop cap, like a little, makes an A bigger. So we make it 1, nothing will happen. We make it 2, look over here. The Z that starts the sentence takes up 2 lines. It's twice as big as it normally would. If we do 3, it'll be 3 times bigger. 4, it'll be 4 times bigger. 5, it'll be 5 times bigger. So it gives you a strong indication of where, it kind of draws the eye and tells you, hey, start reading here. Newspapers don't typically do this, but a number of magazines actually do. And hyphenation. Okay. So in InDesign, you can just click on a paragraph and then go to the upper right here and click hyphenate and then uncheck it. And it'll take away all the hyphenation, right? Click it to make it come back, no problem. You can also do it for specific words. So for here, I see inferno. I'm just going to highlight inferno and I'm going to unclick hyphenation and it moves it to the next line and takes away the hyphen. So this is super useful because sometimes it'll automatically add hyphens to really weird locations, and sometimes the hyphens throw off the spacing or throw off the flow of reading. So I prefer to kind of manhandle the hyphenation myself, but it's a personal preference. So, and then there's a lot to be said about textography. Sorry, typography, but it's just we're learning the focus here is the software. So, but if you ever want to dig into it, there are a number of really good books. One of them is by a person named Robin Williams, not the Robin Williams actor, but a different female Robin Williams. I believe she wrote, I think the title was like typography for non-designers. But the funny thing is, it's super great for designers. So I highly recommend that one. Anyway, so that is a little bit about orphans, widows, and how to beautify your text.